Number 2 of the day, game number 11 of season 1 Oil and Gas Premier League between DNO Dynamos and SuperTech. Both the teams trying to vie for the 3rd and 4th position in this tournament, as we have DNO Dynamos captain Prabhat, who is going to flip the coin. Anshul is going to call. Tails. Heads or tails is what the coin flip is all about. Let's have a look. Prabhat flipping the tails is a call, and heads it is. Prabhat, you won the toss. What do you want to do?
I would like to field first, as we agreed in the just before the toss that we democratically they wanted to bat first, so I want to field first. Right?
Anyway, any changes in your side today?
We would be trying our this tournament is more about getting players on the field, and I hope we all agree to it. So I would like to give chance to the players who have not played in the past, and effectively everybody should have fun. That's the whole idea of playing the game.
That's a good thought as we speak to Anshul. Anshul, again, democratically agreed by both of you. You guys wanted to bat. What sort of a score are you looking to put up here?
We are looking to close around 150. That will be a target because we haven't batting, second. We haven't made kind of impact we want to do with our batting. We have been chasing close to 100, 120 on that score. So giving a chance on the first, I think this is a good pitch to score 150 on this one.
Any changes in your side today?
Yeah, a couple of changes. We have got back Jitu over here, who's basically a medium pacer and an all-rounder basically, and a spinner has been brought in to replace Deepak.
Anyway, lot of medium pacers in your side.
Yeah.
Is that been the mantra for you all, that you go all out pace attack and bring in a spinner in between?
Nothing like that. It's because most of the players are indoor players and they are looking mostly into the indoor matches. So, that's the key. We are trying to bring out the players who are playing actually cricket. So, yeah, as the captain said earlier that, this is all about having a fun in this game. So, we want to involve more and more players. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you for that, and both the captains agreeing to bat and bowl accordingly, and both the captains collectively saying that more people play, more the fun, and more cricket coming up in the next few moments, as DNO Dynamos won the toss and have invited Anshul and his boys to take first strike on this wicket. More action coming in the next few moments. Thank you. Arey Bhagwan.
बैटरी चेक कर लिए हाँ ठीक किसकी बैटरी की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं हाँ हाँ ठीक है ओके कैमरे पे
अंदर आओ यार, मेरे एक पैर बॉल कहाँ रखी है भाई?
स्क्रीन डाल दिया अभी घुमाते रहो प्लेयर्स पे ले लो थोड़ा थोड़ा जूम बॉल किधर देखिए उसके हाथ में तो था बॉल मैं देखा था
पहले दिन से बोल रहे हैं एक बॉल का सेट हमारे पास रखो और मैन ऑफ द मैच इधर छोड़ दो।
ये ना अभी रखा है और लेके जा रहा है, मतलब रखना अभी नेक्स्ट मैच आ रहा है ना।
इसको आउट किया ना अंसार को जल्दी,
हाँ
तो वो चांस है, नहीं तो वो लप्पे मारेगा। वहाँ पे एक फील्डर रखो, इनवाइट हिम टू प्ले वन, वो देगा।
इन लोग बाहर है ऑलरेडी ना, ये दोनों टीम।
नहीं सुपरटेक को वैसे कोई नॉकआउट में तो खेलेंगे ना, सब लोग खेलेंगे ना।
अच्छा
1 प्लेस 2 3 प्लेस 4 5 प्लेस 6 ऐसा है।
टॉप 2 टीम सेमी होगा ना।
नहीं नहीं नहीं, टॉप 4 स्ट्रेट पे ऐसा ही है, जिस व्हाट मुझे जैसे याद है उसने मेरे को दिखाया था वो ये। तो इसीलिए तो टॉप 2 में जाने की कर रहे हैं ना, टू प्ले द फाइनल्स।
अच्छा बाकी नीचे के 4 खेलेंगे।
बाकी नीचे के 4 खेलेंगे, 3rd 4th प्लेस के लिए या फिर 6th प्लेस के लिए। Game number 11 to commence between DNO Dynamos and SuperTech. DNO Dynamos captain Prabhat Saxena winning the toss, electing to bowl first. Santosh to bowl, Ansar the batsman. Again on middle and leg. JC the batsman, partnering Ansar. So Oil and Gas Premier League Season 1 being played at the Eagle Sports Club here on the Dubai Hatta Road. Again, Santosh bowling within the stumps. Ball played towards short covers for a single. So Ansar off the mark, and the score gets off the mark with the single. His title sponsors Bluebell Shipping, Servowell. Associate sponsors PFF Valve Fittings, Asco Filtry and Caltos. These pictures brought to you live by ASL Live. Experience the live moments. Everything being captured and relayed out to the teams. As the 3rd ball completed and no run there, 1 run of the 3 balls. Santosh is now, as Mahesh comes down the wicket, plays to play. Prabhat the fielder misjudges this one. And a single again. Catching has to be of better standards if you want to get those early wickets. 1 more run added to the total score, moves on to 2. Both the batsmen off mark, as now Ansar plays it to the wide of short covers for a single. Prabhat again, the man doing the fielding. Score moves on to 3. It's the last ball of the first over, the power play coming up. Now, the 6-over power play, where you're allowed only 2 men outside the circle. And the men out at the moment are the man at extra cover and the man at long on. Zain patrolling the long on boundary. As Mahesh Moy plays across the line and the umpire deems him LBW. So the first wicket down. JC playing across the line in front of the stumps. The ball going to hit the middle and leg. So 3 for the loss of 1 wicket. As we have a look at the replay. Santosh this time bowling it slightly short and right in front of the stumps. No second thoughts by the umpire Vinay out there in the center, sending JC on his way. So 3 for the loss of 1 wicket as Chandan to start the 2nd over. Ansar to take strike. Anshul Srivastava, the captain, coming to the center to join Ansar. DNO Dynamos boasting of a 21 players team. This is what Prabhat was saying, as to give him the maximum exposure to the guys out there. As Ansar plays this one through covers, as the fielders giving up the chase quite early. So the first boundary of the innings, score moves on to 7. Suresh, the fielder there at mid-off rather, had given up the chase quite early. And so Ansar scores his first boundary. He's 6 of 4. So have a change in the field. Prabhat Saxena coming to mid-off now. And Suresh being sent to point. Wide. Chandan looking a bit perplexed out there, but he had bowled it wide. The strategy was to invite Ansar to play across away from his body with no edge whatsoever. So score moves on to 8. Another wide. Score 9 for 1. Again another one. So third wide on the trot. Again Chandan missing his lines. The intent is quite right to make the batsman play away from his body, but you got to keep it within the wide lines, else the umpire will keep penalizing you, which he's done so far 3 times in the over. This time within the stumps, plays it towards short covers and a quick single being taken. Score moves on to 10. Anshul taking strike for the first time. Current. Another wide. So already 4 wides in this over so far. Remember the conditions are quite warm out there, so every extra ball that is bowled will keep the DNO Dynamos on the park for that much longer. These are energy sapping conditions. Just the start of the summer, but already energy sapping conditions, considering that we have just come out of the winter. Chance of a caught behind is at a drop, is what is to be seen. Score 12 for 1. Onto the pads, plays it towards short mid-wicket. Vinod the fielder. 1 run added to the total. Score moves on to 13. This time much better line outside the off stump and within the tram lines. Score remains on 13. 1.5 overs completed. Last ball of the over coming up. Run the over so far, 10 runs coming off it, a boundary, 4 wides already and a couple of singles, and we say last ball of the over, plays it towards short covers and a single being completed. Score moves on to 14 for the loss of 1 wicket in 2 overs, 11 runs coming off that over. It's a 10 ball over.
यही मैच है ना हाँ DNO SuperTech
So brief halt in play. The helmet being given away and opting for a cap. It's got. I think the batsman has to be wary of the one that's slightly short. So the protection has been given for a reason. As Ansar on strike, Santosh the bowler, trying to play it towards the mid-wicket region, inside edge, going towards square leg, comes back for a double. As we have a look on the running that is there. 16 for the loss of 1 wicket. Santosh into Ansar. This time trying to send it over covers, plays inner edge and dropped short towards short covers. So Santosh has settled into a good line so far. Ansar trying to hit his way out. He's already got a boundary, so he needs to just bide his time out here with the ball being fairly new. This time gets a chance to play it over point. Ball racing towards the boundary. Kinjal, the fielder, within the within the boundary line. 2 runs added to the total. Score moves on to 18. Santosh, this time over the man head, long off, 1 bounce to the boundary. Score moves on to 22. So Ansar now having a go. So he got his second boundary in the long off region. This time plays it down the ground. Chandan, the fielder there, keeps it down to a single. Good fielding there. Right in the slot, Ansar. This time Anshul gets a chance to play it and plays it over the point region. The ball racing towards the boundary. Kinjal again doing the fielding there at the point boundary. So another 2 runs added to the total. So at the end of 3 overs, 25 for the loss of 1 wicket. 11 runs coming off that over. So the last 2 overs yielding 22 runs for SuperTech. थक गए हो, छोड़ दो, आए क्यों तुम खेलने? तुम भी घर पे बैठ जाते हो।
एक वीक और शायद खेलेंगे, उसके बाद इन लोग को हाथ उठा लेंगे।
और एक ही थोड़े बाकी है इसके बाद। ऑलरेडी पेट्रोफाइक अगले हफ्ते नहीं खेलना चाहते, विनीत से बात कर रहे थे, उनका कुछ और मैच है। Yes. Chandan coming to bowl his second over to Anshul. Sorry, to Ansa. Chance away play towards vacant cover region. The man had extra cover doing the fielding. 1 run added to the total. Score moves on to 26. Chandan bowling to Anshul. This time plays it down towards long off. Prabhat, the captain, fielding there at long off. Keeps it down to a single. The wicket's pretty dry and quite open. You can trust the bounce and play through the line. The only thing is you need to play in front of square rather than playing behind square. The V would be the best areas to target. Yes, Chandan. This time over, extra cover. Prabhat running short out there. Another boundary. Anything outside off stump. Ansar is quite happy to open his arms and send that one crashing over the cover region for a boundary. His third boundary, he races to 22 or 14. Score moves on to 31 for the loss of 1 wicket. This time, chance of a catch again, over covers. Prabhat again coming up short there. So another boundary. Score moves on to 35. खुला हुआ है
यार, वॉल्यूम एक करो।
Score moves on to 35, 3.4 overs. Chandan, slowish delivery, plays it towards short covers. Ansar eyeing the long on region, but deciding to play against that because there was absolutely no pace on that delivery. It was an off-pace delivery.
एक पे रखा करो, वहां पर जब जाए दो करके फिर एक पे कर दिया करो। हाफ एक कर दो।
3.5 overs, 35 for 1 as Chandan comes into the last ball. This time plays it towards long off, 1 run. So the end of 4 overs, 36 for the loss of 1 wicket. Ansar batting 27 or 17 with 4 boundaries. Anshul Srivastava 4 of 4. The man out CP. He was out leg before of the bowling of Santosh for 1 of 3. 6 teams of the oil and gas industry participating in this tournament. Chance of a catch, this time over Chandan for another boundary. Daryl Pinto, the new bowler, been greeted with a boundary. Prabhat trying to boost the morale of his boys who are already now under the pump after that. This time into the pads and over long on for the first maximum. Score racing to 46. So the carnage continues after that well-made century by Jeevan Gangadharan from Petrofac. Earlier in the day, a brilliant 90 by Jatin which went in vain, and now Ansar is already raced to 37 of 19. This time under the bat, Yorker plays it for a single. Score moves on to 47 of 4.3 overs. Current run rate of 10.62. 10.44 rather will propel them to 209, which would be a humongous task for DNO Dynamos. Darrell to Anshul. He plays it down towards long off for a single. Score moves on to 48. Anshul this time shot, rocks back and sends it over mid-wicket. The 50 coming up in the fifth over, 54 for 1 in 4.5 overs. Darrell bowling it short. Ansar just rocks back and sends it over mid-wicket for a maximum, the second maximum of the over. And he races to 44 of 21 with 5 boundaries and 2 maximums. So we have a look at the leaderboard. Ansar now coming up to the 4th position. It's taken some time to retrieve the ball. Last ball of the over coming up. Darrell Pinto. Chance of a catch and taken. So finally, he runs out of luck out there. The second casualty is out for 44 of 22. This was on the cards. He plays with a slightly open face, so there are those chances where the ball will go within the third man and the point region. This time going to short third man, and the fielder making no mistake there. Come on, batsman, faster, faster!
ऐसा रहेगा तो फिर एक बैट्समैन आउट है.
Catch taken by Santosh. As the umpires come in with a warning to the batting team, the incoming batsmen have to be ready. These are hot conditions. They need to understand that there are people who are playing and do not want to waste time on the field when it's quite hot out there. As Bruno, the new man, comes in at number 4. Santosh having a hand in both the dismissals so far. He comes to bowl his third over. His 2 overs have cost 14 runs. Chandan 2 overs, 22 runs. And Daryl Pinto going for 18 runs but managing to get the wicket off Ansar. Was out for 44. This time down the legs being called a wide. Score moves on to 55. This time on the pads, outside leg stump, Anshul quite lucky. Now this was down leg. DNO Dynamos currently at 5th position in the tournament. We want to come up at number 3 as Anshul again wraps this on the pads, but again down leg side is what the umpire says. As we look at the points table so far, Cummins Arabia 3 matches played, 3 wins, 6 points with a net run rate of 2.167. Petrofac 4 games played, 3 wins, 1 loss, 6 points at 1.288. Oil Serve 4 games played, 2 wins and 2 losses. They are on 4 points, third place with 4 points and minus 1.116. SuperTech 3 games played, 1 win, 2 losses, 2 points at 0.603. And DNO Dynamos 3 games played, 1 win, 2 losses with the net run rate of minus 1.2 as Anshul in between trying to play go for a maximum miss time, missing the ball. So did the keeper. So 2 byes added, and then JSS completing the table with 3 played, 3 losses, no points, and a net run rate of minus 3.560. Keevan Gangadharan topping the charts with 191 and followed by Anshul. This time managed just to get hold of that and sends the ball over long on for a 2 bounce boundary. Score moves on to 62 for 2 and we're in the power play. A couple of balls more for the power play to conclude. Anshul batting 9 of 9. Santosh 2 overs, 20 runs, 1 wicket. Santosh to Anshul. Onto the pads, trying to flick it down. A quick leg by being taken, chance of a run out, but Bruno is in as the ball misses the stump. So 63 for 2, 5.5 overs completed. Current run rate of 10.80 should get them to 216. So the run still flowing after the fall of Ansar's wicket. Bruno plays it in the air to a short mid-wicket. Vinod Jacob, the fielder. A single scored. So end of power play, 64 for the loss of 2 wicket. Bruno has got to the mark with a single. He keeps strike. Anshul is batting 9 of 10 with 1 boundary. And if we have a look at the scorecard so far, Ansar Ahmed out 44 of 22 balls, 5 boundaries, 2 sixes. JC out LBW to Santosh, 1 of 3 balls. See a change in bowling. Prabhat Saxena, the captain, coming into the attack for the first time. He'll be bowling to Bruno. A good time to bowl with the field restrictions being relaxed. Sending 3 men on the onside boundary. One as full toss. Bruno pretty uncomfortable out there. Plays it high onto the bat and plays it down to long on. Zen, the fielder there. Got a man at deep mid wicket. Vinod Jacob patrolling the boundary there. Zen at long on. Man at Chandan long off. And the man at extra cover Kinjal there as Anshul facing Prabhat, bowling it down the leg side for another wide. So 11 extras in the innings so far, rather 10 extras, 7 wides in that as he bowls another wide. So make that 11. Score moves on to 67. DNO Dynamos have to stop those runs from leaking as he bowls another one onto the legs. Batsman playing it and short fine, missing that, ball racing towards the boundary, but the fielder at backward square leg coming in, so 2 runs added to the total. Prabhat has not, he can't be angry with his fielder. It was a bad ball, lucky for him that it didn't cross over to the boundary. Happy to keep it down to 2 as he bowls this into Yorker length. Anshul sizing up for a big one, but the length not there, just under his bat. So score remains on 69. We're in the 7th over as he plays this to a short fine. The man doing the fielding this time, covering it well. Score moves on to 70. 4 balls up in the over. Another couple of balls. Bruno to take strike. He's batting 2 of 2. Bruno plays it towards long on. Zen coming in to wide of long on. 1 run being taken, wanting the second. Anshul denying that. Score remains, moves on to 71 as the last ball of the 7th over coming up. Prabhat giving away 7 runs of this over so far. Make that 8. Possibly another 1 as the fielder was quite slow to react to that. 9 runs of that over. 73 for 2 wickets at the end of 7 overs. एक हफ्ता पहले खेलते थे तो शायद आज अपने ये हो जाते थे. पांच मैच खेलने उसमें भी आज पता नहीं JSS या कपिल सरेबिया was playing. I think so JSS didn't want to play. उनका कुछ फिर अगले हफ्ते पेट्रोफैक्ट doesn't want to play. तो यानी अगर अगले हफ्ते भी 2 मैच होंगे फिर लास्ट 2 मैच लीग मैच होंगे.
नहीं, अगले हफ्ते 3 कराना ही पड़ेगा क्योंकि 11 को फाइनल करने का इसका. उसको नेक्स्ट वीक सैटरडे संडे दोनों दिन कराना पड़ेगा.
73 for 2. At the end of 7 as Vinod Jacob comes into bowl. Bowls on the pads of Bruno. He plays it towards deep square leg. By the time the man square leg comes in, another couple being scored. So score moves on to 75. Again, not the line that you want to bowl to an Indian or an Asian batsman for that matter. You can't bowl on the legs. They will be happy to flick that one. You have to keep it outside the off stump and invite. You have protection in the form of short third. You've got a man at point. You've got a man at covers, extra covers. So this is where you got to bowl. Again, onto the pads. This time straight to Prabhat Saxena at deep mid wicket. Prabhat's doing bulk of the fielding out there, shouldering responsibility for his side, leading the side, scoring runs and being in key positions on the field. As Anshul drives this down to long off. Chandan, the fielder, well backed up by Zain, who's ready to come behind the ball if required, so keeps it down to a single. Bruno plays this towards long on for another single. So moves on to 78. Anshul drills this down towards long off. Again, Chandan in play. A single. Score moves on to 79. With this energy sapping conditions, you need all the support you can from your substitutes as well as as Bruno drills this one down to long off. Chandan again doing the fielding, keeping it down to a single. Relatively better over from DNO Dynamos, just 6-7 runs coming off it. It's at the end of 8 overs, 80 for the loss of no wicket.
नेक्स्ट वीक से आप लोग नहीं खेलोगे नेक्स्ट वीक से आप लोग 2 बजे नहीं खेलोगे
थोड़ा इधर आता हूँ, ये बात देख, पूरा मेरा ऐसे गर्म हो गया।
अब यार है वो धीरे धीरे इस साइड ही आ रही है बच्ची वो हिला भी नहीं सकते लंग में फिक्स कर
अच्छा Hitesh, the new bowler. He's bowling to Bruno. Bowls it into the wicket. Bruno plays it back to the bowler. Dot ball. As Hitesh bowling to Bruno. Into the pitch again, inviting Bruno to play slightly away from the body. Plays it down to long on for a single. Score moves on to 81. Bruno moves on to 9 of 9. Anshul batting 16 of 16. The men out. JC out for 1 run and Ansar out for 44 of 22. (81 for 2). Anshul plays it down the ground. Zain doing the fielding out there. Keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 83. Hitesh bowling to Bruno. Beautiful ball up to the batsman. Bruno playing over that one. So Hitesh offering no pace whatsoever, keeping it tight in front of in the line of the stumps. All the batsman can access is the long on and long off, as this time he bowls it outside the line and being called a wide. Score moves on to 84. Or 83, sorry. It comes to bowl the 5th ball of the over. Full toss. Bruno surprised at 1. 1 run towards mid-on. Zain coming into the circle to field that one. Both the batsmen starting slowly. Bruno realizing that there could be a second, but Anshul was too late by then. Last ball of the over. Plays it towards deep mid wicket for a single. Score moves on to 85 at the end of 9 overs. So got over 5 runs of that over. DNO Dynamos will be wanting more of these overs. They don't want to chase a high total out here. Darrell comes into bowl, the successful bowler. He's given 18 runs of the over he bowled, but managed to get the wicket of Ansar. Coming from round the wicket. Anshul playing across the line. No run there. This time down the ground. Chandan misfielding there and a boundary. So Darrell, the unlucky bowler. 4 runs being 85, 89 for 2 after that boundary. So the pressure being released with that boundary. Chandan had done well up to this end as this one plays towards covers. Kinjal trying to field there but not good enough, and the ball races towards the boundary. So now the momentum starting to pick up after those 2 consecutive boundaries. Score moves on to 93. Anshul now batting 26 of 21. Asking for an LBW. Is that the one? Umpire gives that. And he's out. A late call by the umpire. Waiting and then deciding, yes, this was going on to hit the stumps. So the 3rd wicket gone. So Darrell, after leaking a few runs, has got a couple of wickets. Anshul trying to play towards square leg, well right in front of stumps. The only thing that was in question was, did it pitch outside leg? Umpire thinks it was pitching in line. So the 3rd wicket down for SuperTech. As Dinesh Istrani makes his way to the center. Okay, not the kind of wicket where you want to play across the line. Anshul was playing it pretty well until then, playing it down the ground towards the cover area. Played all round a foolish delivery. पानी पिलाने आया था कि नहलाने आया था उसको? ये बंदा जब वहाँ पहुँचा तब तो पानी लेके गया। Dinesh Ishrani, the new batsman. .4 overs completed. Asking for a caught behind, not to be. It's the last ball of the 10th over coming up. Darrell Pinto expensive, but we'll be happy with the fact he's got 2 wickets. He's gone for 26 of the 1.5 he's bowled so far. Batsman playing it down to short fine fielder booting the ball in. It's a wide. So another 2 runs added. So his 1.5 has cost 28 runs.
क्या हो गया?
Yes, they have a discussion with the umpire as to whether it was a wide.
हाँ, बैठते हो. एम्पायर
Don't umpire decide करते हैं वो तब
वो
तो.
अगर पूछेगा तो लागेगा.
तो
Okay, okay, start please.
sorted out.
बैट था मतलब बहुत बड़ा बैट था.
I couldn't see that.
Come on, umpire, push the match. क्या कर? हाँ, क्या नाम है इसका? विनय भाई, पानी ले लेना 2-3 बोतल पानी. कहीं ऊट वीट कहीं दिख रही है? देखो कुछ ऊट वीट कुछ दिख रही है? कुछ दिखाओ डेजर्ट. लंबा ब्रेक है. हाँ हाँ, ऊट ऊट देखो कहीं दिख रही है क्या? गधा ऊट कुछ दिख रहा है?
as we continue. Not so good scenes on the center as the umpire is getting into a conversation with the players. The players getting into a conversation. .351 local time here. यार अंपायर को बोल अंपायर लास्ट बॉल सिंगल था
लास्ट बॉल हाँ बैट दिया बैट छोड़ दो
ऐसे चेंज ही नहीं किए ब्रूनो स्ट्राइक पे बता रहा है Prabhat Saxena to Dinesh Israni. Is that an LBW? Yes, it is. As Dinesh Israni is out, LBW to Prabhat Saxena. Copy, sir. Thank you. क्या हुआ बेटा So the fourth wicket falling at the score of 94 as Dinesh Israni is out. LBW to Prabhat Saxena. New batsman playing it towards the cover region. Kinjal doing the fielding out there. Score moves on to 95. Mariappan, the new batsman. Bruno is there for quite some time in the middle. He needs to anchor the innings now. SuperTech having a good platform to come up with the scores as Prabhat comes into bowl to Bruno. Missed it all around. Chops it onto his thumb, so the fifth wicket down. Playing across the line to a slightly foolish delivery, under edges this one and cannons onto the stump. So 2 wickets back to back in this over brings DNO Dynamos back into the. वो पहले का हुआ लास्ट ओवर का हुआ
चेंज क्यों नहीं कर रहे थे हाँ
नहीं करेक्ट है 10 ओवर
चेंज नहीं किया अभी तुम्हारे पास आ रहा है
मेरे को आ रहा है लास्ट ओवर में 2 बाउंड्री था विकेट था फिर डॉट एंड सिंगल था $95 for 5 and he plays it down towards point. The fielder misfielding there. Kinjal coming in to do the cleanup. Keeps it down to a single. Semlai, the new man, coming in at number 7. Mariappan batting 1 of 1. Semlai just walked in and got a single of the first ball he faced. Full toss, plays it towards short covers. A single being taken, easy single in the end. So at the end of 11 overs, 97 for 5. Sorry, one more ball to go. No, over. 97 for 5. So 2 wickets coming in this over for the cost. 3 runs costed. So a good comeback by DNO Dynamos after the drinks break. Darrell coming to bowl his third over. Dot ball in the first ball. Second ball plays it to a short third. James Foster fielding there. No run. Score remains on 97. Full toss, plays it towards deep mid wicket. Vinod coming in from the boundary, keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 98. Remains to be seen who is going to anchor this innings for the remaining 9 overs that are there. As another one missed by the batsman, Simlai, the batsman. Fifth ball of the over. Wide this time. Appeal by the keeper. Just trying to put the umpire off track, but he's not going to be moved by such things. So wide being called, score moves on to 99 as another wide and an extra run being conceded. So the 100 coming up. So Darrell Pinto now bowling a couple of wide balls. He had bowled a good over so far. Skipping away 3 runs without a ball being counted. And Semlai again plays round the wicket outside the line of the stump. So 2 leg byes added to the total. So wait for the umpire signal whether there was leg byes or off the bat. Yeah. अपडेट ही नहीं हो रहा है क्या? So 102. Slowish full toss and a no ball being called, so a free hit coming up. Semlai being as Prabhat, batsman taking a full arm swing on that, misses it, so the free hit not being capitalized on. Score moves on to 104. Trying to play it. Taps it down to short third. James Foster doing the fielding there. Keeps it down to a single. So 105 for 5. Three balls to go in this over. Playing it back towards the bowler. No run there. Over the bowler's head. The man at long off doing the fielding. Keeping it down to a double. Score moves on to 107 as the last ball of the 13th over coming up. The run rate gradually coming down from 10 has come down to 8.34. So there's a chance of a catch. The man at long off this time has to run towards his left. Keep it dying down to 2 more runs. So at the end of 13 overs, 109 for 5. A partnership of 14 runs of 15 balls between these two guys. Trying to forge a partnership here. James Foster comes into bowl, the 14th over of the innings. James Foster into Mariappan, plays it down to mid wicket. The man there doing the fielding keeps it down to a single. Chance of an LBW down leg side is what the umpire says. Score moves on to 111 as James Foster comes with a dibbly-dobbly right arm over bowling, keeps it down to a single again. Ball moves to deep mid wicket, so score moves on to 112. No ball being called, so another free hit coming up. This time plays it towards point, use of the fielder, 1 run given away. So again, not much capitalization on the free hit. Score moves on to 114. Down leg side being called a wide, so another extra to the total. 20 extras in the inning so far. 11 wides, 2 no balls, 4 leg byes and 3 byes as a full toss being sent towards the long leg boundary. So a welcome boundary for SuperTech. Score moves on to 118. So the 119 because a wide has been included. So 119 is what the score is. This time in the air, the man at point coming forward and lets the ball bounce. So 120 for 5 at the end of 14 overs. Current run rate of 8.57 being played here at the Eagle Sports Ground in the Dubai Al Ain Road. Projected score 171. 6 runs an over in the next 6 overs will get them to 156. 8 runs an over will get them to 168. 10 and over will get them to 180. They would be trying to eye that 160 mark. As Prabhat Saxena has bowled 3 overs for 19 runs and 2 wickets. He's given the ball to Vinod Jacob. Jacob bowling it into the stumps. Mariappan batting on 11 of 14. Sam plays it back to the bowler, but bowler not able to catch it. The ball goes towards long off for a single. Semlai trying to capitalize on that again with another run, but not to be. Keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 121. This one down leg side, and the keeper misses that one as well. So 2 more runs to the total. Score moves on to 123. 123. We're in the 15th over of the innings. We're coming towards the end of the 3rd quarter of the innings. As we know, this time outside the off stump, plays it cross batted towards mid wicket. 1 run being taken. Score moves on to 124. High in the air towards long off rather. Unable to sight that one due to the sunlight in the eyes. So 2 more runs added. Semlai having a look at his, or rather Mariappan having a look at his Semlai batting 9 of 11. Another wide being bowled. $127 for 5. Again, this one in the air. Want to come back for the double, easily completing it. Moves on to 129 as the last ball of the 15th over coming up. Plays it towards covers for a single. So the end of 15 overs, 130 for 5. Ten runs coming off that over. Mariappan batting 13 of 16, Semlai batting 12 of 13 balls. Partnership of 35 of 28 as Zen comes into bowl. Full toss, plays it towards the 3rd man area, the ball racing over to the boundary. Partnership now 39 of 29. Score moves on to 134. They would another 5 overs more. I think 10 and above will get them to 180 plus, which they will be trying to pepper right now. Short ball rocks back and plays it towards square leg for a single. Wild swing, no run. It's the fourth ball of the 16th over. Plays it towards short third. Fielders giving the chase. Yusuf managing to field it within the boundary, so keeps it down to a 2. And comes round the wicket. This time plays it towards short third. The man alert there, keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 138. 8 runs coming of the 5 balls so far in this over. The last ball of the 16th over coming up. It's the bowler having a chat with the umpire with regards to the condition of the ball. In the air, bowler trying to come back and drops that one. So 1 run added to the total, 139 for 5 at the end of 16 overs. Partnership 44 of 34.
Done. James, it's done. The catch is slow replay done.
As we have a look at that, Simlai playing it in the air, Zen circling around, in the end falling onto the ground and shelling that catch. Prabhat comes into bowl, asking for an LBW. Down leg side is what the umpire feels. Again, questions being asked. The combined score moves on to 140. Onto the pads and going away towards a fine leg boundary. Moves on to 144. And before you realize, this partnership is worth now 49 of 36. So carrying on the momentum, it was a matter of a couple of them coming together and stitching up a partnership, and this is what Mariyappan and Simlai have done between themselves. Got 49 of the 36 balls, and now make that as a 50-run partnership for the 6th wicket. Score moves on to 145 of 16 point. Again, another catch in the vacant spot. 1 run added. Of the inner half of the bat towards short fine, another run added to the total. .147 with the last ball of the over coming up. Full toss, swings it across towards long leg, 1 bounce, boundary. So 150 coming up. in 17 overs. Current run rate of 8.73, projected can go up to 175, 160 and above will be a very challenging total for DNO Dynamos. An expensive over by Prabhat Saxena comes to an end. He's given away 12 runs of that over. So no pressure being built on the SuperTech batsman. Although 5 wickets have been taken. Last wicket has fallen in the 11th over. (151 for 5) as Chandan comes into ball. To Gully, James Foster putting a hand to it, but not able to catch that one. So 2 runs added to the total. Score moves on to 153. Again, this one in the air, in the vacant mid-on region, 1 run completed. The man at long on coming in. Keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 152. Chandan into ball to Simlai. E2 plays it in the air, well short of any fielder, just over the bowler's head. So one more. Down leg side, being called wide. Chandan trying to follow the batsman. Gives an extra run. As Chandan into ball. Plays it towards short third again for another single. Score 156 for 5 as we wide again. (158 for 5). Chandan into one. Again, Simlai time and again has gone up in the air rather than the distance. Score moves on to 59. Last ball plays it to a short mid wicket. Is there a chance of a run out? No, it missed. And an overthrow being conceded there. The backup not really that great. So 2 runs added to the total. 18 overs completed. 160 has been achieved. As Mariappan decides to retire himself out, allowing Jeetu Udrani to come in to bat. So Jacob bowling the 19th over. Score moves on to 162. Sungai batting 25-21 as Jeetu Udrani comes into bat. Plays it towards the mid-wicket boundary. Midfielder misfields but gives away 2 runs there. Score moves on to 163. This time, pitch delivery, plays it high in the air, over covers. Prabhat giving the chase. So another double added to the score. Score moves on to 166. Remains to be seen how much do SuperTech get from here in the next 9 balls. Again, pitched, plays it towards wide cover, and another double being completed. So he gets 6 of 3 balls. .168 for 6, 3 doubles coming in this over. Wants to cut this one, too close for that one, so no run there. Dot ball as the last ball of the 19th over coming up. Slap this one towards long off, 1 run being added. Score moves on to 169. Mariappan was retired of 28 of 26. That's the last over coming up. Santosh the bowler. Jeetu Udrani on strike. 169. Cramping Jeetu for room. He plays it towards short mid wicket. Completes 1 by the time the fielder from deep mid wicket comes in. 2 more added. Score moves on to 171. in the air into the vacant cover region. The man at extra cover coming in keeps it down to a single. Semlai just ambling away for a single. Score moves on to 172. And Jitendra Odhani quickly racing to 10 of 7 balls. No boundaries, but he's not wasted any of the delivery. Just one dot ball, so he scored off every ball that he scored. The Semlai plays his eye in the air, over covers. They complete a single and go back for the second. Score moves on to 176. Rather 174. 1 run being added. Coming back for the second. Score 176 for 6. Last 2 balls of the over coming up. Of the innings coming up as Santosh into ball to Semlai. Misses that one, so dot ball. So we will want to finish with the boundary to propel the score to 180. Just 4 runs short of that. And he's bowled playing across the line. So they finish with a good comeback by Santosh at the last 2 balls. Didn't give any runs and picked up a wicket. So finally 176 for 7 is what SuperTech has scored in their 20 overs. As we have a look at the scorecard. Ansar 44 of 22, JC out for 1 of 3 balls, Anshul Srivastava 26 of 22, Bruno out 10 of 13, Dinesh Israni out 1 for 3, Mariappan retired out for 28 of 26, Semlai the last man out 28 of 26, and Jitu Odhrani 10 of 7 balls. So 4 boundaries coming in the back end of the innings, but the best thing that SuperTech would do was to keep the run rate above 8.5. 8 bowlers being used by DNO Dynamos. Santosh, the pick of the bowlers, 4 overs, 28 runs, 2 wickets. Chandan, 3 overs, 32 runs, no wicket. Daryl Pinto, 3 overs, 29 runs, 2 wickets. Prabhat Saxena, 4 overs, 30 runs, 2 wickets. Vinod Jacob, 3 overs, 25 runs, no wicket. Hitesh, 1 over, 5 runs, no wicket. James Foster, 1 over, 10 runs, no wicket. And Zain, 1 over, 9 runs, no wicket. So 177 is what DNO Dynamos need to win this contest. And we'll come up with the chase in a few minutes.
शारजा स्टेडियम में नीचे उसको शारजा स्टेडियम में भी देने आ रहा था वो फोटो उसको वो तो मेरा पेरेंट्स को देखने गया ना
अरे ये स्टेटस पे डाल दिया था उसने इसलिए मैंने आपको कॉल किया।
हाँ कभी का ये कब भेजा अभी भेजा ना बोलना कि भाई ये तो 3 दिन पुरानी है बोल दो ना डेट देखो स्क्रीन का वो देखो तो तुम कर दो क्योंकि मैं आज सुबह में किया ना तो सैटरडे का मैच है 2 दिन एक 24 घंटे के बाद क्या पूरा शारजा में वही टाइम पे डाल रहा है ईगल दूसरा ग्राउंड है ना जो नया बना है उसमें पूरा वही टाइम पे डाल रहा है मैच खत्म हुआ हाँ सब डाल रहे हैं वही है सब डालते हैं इसमें तो ऐसा बड़ा इशू नहीं है तुम लोग को क्यों नहीं दिया जब तुम लोग ग्राउंड है
अरे उनके मुझे शारजा से यहाँ भाई उनकी हम पे कर रही है मैंने तो स्टिल कैमरा पे पूरा करने का इसलिए था तो करते हैं बच्चा बच्चा अगला सीजन और कैसा होगा आपको भी अच्छे टीम्स आएंगे अच्छा थोड़ा सा थोड़ा आगे एक्सप्लोर करने को मिलेगा लिटरली 3 हफ्ते में 4 बंदा हुआ था ये सबको कि सबके किट्स के डिज़ाइन साइजेस सब अकेले पे ही रहा
पूरा दे
But
देते
any,
वन टू थ्री
all the teams are playing the knockouts. You know, 1 plays 2, 3 plays 4, 5 plays. That's a good concept here. ये level पे ना semi-final में everybody knows that they're playing for something.
सब ट्रॉफी
Everybody has.
डेविड ट्रॉफी है और
है बोल क्या करेगा उसका है मेरे पास बंदा बहुत ज्यादा उसको प्रमोट करेगा अच्छा अपना पूरा फ्यूचर के लिए और बड़ा करेगा मैं बात करता हूँ कभी इधर बने
11 को शेड्यूल्ड है सेकंड हाफ से 13 को
बात करता है पूरा हो जाएगा इसमें बहुत सारे लोग आगे पीछे तेरा स्टार्टिंग
Welcome back. We're live for game number 11 between DNO Dynamos and SuperTech. SuperTech scoring 176 for 7 in the 20 overs. So an uphill task for DNO Dynamos chasing down 177 as Suresh comes in to Anshul is the bowling the first over and nearly chopping onto his stumps. Parag Sharma, the striker. Starting at the required run rate of 86 rather. So look at the field placing. We got a man at slip. Man at plays it in the air towards mid-off. Chance of a run out. Batsman completing the single. So 2 runs to the board. Again, Yorker ball. Suresh plays it towards short covers and takes off for a quick single. So 3 balls in the innings, 3 runs scored. So the intent quite clear from the DNO Dynamo boys. They will want to score on every opportunity, even if it is a single, and keep the scoreboard ticking. Try to take the game as deep as possible. This time chops onto his stump. So first wicket down for DNO Dynamos. Parag Sharma, the batsman, bowled. Parag Sharma bowled, chops onto his stumps.
पहले हमारे साथ 70 तक वो एक ही अकेले ही ऑप्शन हमारा सुपरटेक का ही होगा थर्ड पोजीशन कन्वेंशन पेट्रोफैक्ट फाइनल आप लोगों का इसके सुपरटेक का जेएसएस और डीएनओ डायनामोस उसमें डीएनओ डायनामोस 5वें नंबर पे जीतेगा यू हैव अ बेटर चांस अगेंस्ट सुपरटेक Cummins Arabia will have to turn up on against Petrofac if they
Prashant MS, the new batsman.
again those drop catches as well. He offered those.
As Prashant comes in at number 3, the wicketkeeper batsman, coming at the fall of Parag Sharma's wicket. Bowling down wide, leg side, Anshul. Score 4 for the loss of 1 wicket. The man out, Parag Sharma, bowled Anshul Srivastav. Chopping one onto his stumps. And Prashant playing it back towards the bowler. No run there. And 1 run, plays it to a short point. Score 5 for 1.
Amit है ना finance manager. He's the one who sponsors. He's got a very good role in the company. Very good. He is the main guy who can make a decision. Butler है plays a lot of indoor cricket. उसी में से
बहुत लेट नंबर मिल गया मेरा तो आई वो बिकॉज कई बार वो भी DBMS के भी हमारे सप्लायर में से एक है सबको फैब्रिकेशन उनके प्लेट्स चैनल्स वगैरह तो मैं ज़्यादा ऑयल एंड गैस में हुआ नहीं अभी मैं कुछ टीम को टैप किए ये सारे मेरे इंसुलेशन पे आए हुए स्पॉन्सर्स भी 4-5 स्पॉन्सर्स बट अब एक बार एक्सपीरियंस आ गया थोड़ा यार
वर्ड ऑफ माउथ जाएगा तो देन यू विल गेट
रमजान के बाद का रहेगा ना उसको इन्वॉल्व कर उन लोग के लिए उन लोग को नजदीक भी पड़ता है सर नहीं रहता है दुबई में ये पर्शिया साइड उन लोग को इतना हार्ड भी नहीं शारजा अजमान का कोई नहीं उनका
Bruno is bowling over number 2. We're in the power play. 2 men outside the circle man, a third man at fine leg. Jeetu Udrani is at fine leg as Prashant plays this towards covers and sets off for a single, easily completed. So, runs coming in singles. These pictures coming to you live by ASL Live. Experience the live moments as Suresh plays this towards wide of mid-off, and the man Semlai running to his left and stopping the ball inside the 30 yard. Plays it back.
आ गया कल आया मेरा रूम नहीं
Score 7 for 1.
मेरे साथ में काम करता था लेकिन बीच में मेरा डाउन था तो मैं पूरा बाहर गया लेकिन सही है अभी अच्छा मिला होगा रहता मेरे साथ ये शाम में जाता है 4 घंटे का एक मैच रहता है अनूप लोग बनाया ग्राउंड वाला
Plays this towards third man for a single. Score moves on to 8.
अगर लेकिन अगर वहाँ लिया ना तो हाथ बैक मैं बोलता हूँ वो क्लिक होएगा वो एरिया क्लिक होएगा शारजा में कोई भी एरिया रहेगा ना नज़दीक 1500 से क्लिक होएगा गार्डन इतना खड़ा ग्राउंड है वहाँ
Score 8 for 1.
पूरा खड्डा है वहाँ ग्राउंड में लेकिन फिर भी लोग खेल रहे हैं
This time asking for a caught behind, no edge whatsoever. The slip being taken off, there's hardly much swing. The conditions getting a bit cooler now. Quite warm in the day and now much better fielding conditions.
ये ऑन ऑफ कंट्रोल रहता है कैसे
8 for 1. Asking for an LBW down leg side is what the umpire says. So end of 2 overs, 8 for the loss of 1 wicket.
बाद में लोग क्या बोलते हैं एम्पायर देखो रीजन में दिखा रहा लंबा होता है इसलिए ऐसा जो एम्पायर रहता है ना वो वाला नहीं देता
Suresh
दिखाएगा मुश्किल
out on 3 of 4, Prashant 3 of 5. Anshul Srivastava had given away 5 runs and took 1 wicket. And Bruno bowling an economical over of 3 runs. As Anshul bowls to Prashant, again plays it towards short covers and 1 run taken there. Score moves on to 9. And this time, cleaning him up, Suresh playing inside the line of the ball, and the middle stump is shuttered out there. So the second wicket down, 9 for the loss of 2 wickets. Anshul is bowling a lively spell as of now, keeping the ball right on to the stumps. and reaping the rewards. He's already got both the men bowled. Brings Prabhat Saxena, the captain, to the center.
ज़्यादा बढ़ेगा ना तो हवा कम हो जाएगा, हवा कम होगा तो मिट्टी आएगी। ये लास्ट थी हवा कम, फिर ऐसा हवा बबल था उसके बाद बोलेगा थोड़ा हवा आ गया।
LED stump sting. 2.2 overs, 9 for the loss of 2 wickets. Needing another 168 more runs to win. Down leg side, being called a wide. So again, Anshul, after getting the wicket, trying to target the stumps and bowls down a wide. So moves on to 10, another 167 runs of the remaining 106 balls. Prabhat Saxena coming in behind the line of the ball, playing it back to the bowler. This testing times for the batsman. It's coming to the twilight of the day. Plays it towards short mid wicket. A single being taken, ball going towards the mid wicket boundary, and the batsman crossover for 2. A bit of a hesitation between Prashant and Prabhat, but in the end managing to get 2 runs. So the first double of the innings, after all the singles that have been accumulated off the bat or wide. So the momentum needs to be brought into the innings as soon as possible. Can't wait for too long, as Prabhat this time nearly chopping this one onto some. Not sure where the ball had gone. So 12 for 2 of 2.5 as the last ball of the third over coming up. We're in the power play. Plays it towards point and takes off for a quick single. So at the end of 3 overs, 13 for 2. Anshul completing his second over. He's given away 10 runs and taken 2 wickets. So identical overs for him, given away 5 runs each in the overs that he's bowled and taken a wicket each. The end of 3 overs, 13 for 2 as Bruno comes in to bowl his second over. Bruno to full toss, plays it towards point for a single. Didn't take advantage of it, could have deposited that over covers. Happy to play down the ground towards point, so another run added. Score moves on to 14. As we have a look at the extras bowled by the SuperTech, by the DNO Dynamos when SuperTech were batting. Given away 26 extras, 16 wides, 2 no balls, 5 leg byes and 3 byes. So that's quite a lot of runs if you can in a T20 game. And you have to make sure you score those runs as well. Prashant batting 4 of 7. As Bruno, again another full toss, just plays it towards covers for another single. Score moves on to 15. This is game number 11 of the Oil and Gas Premier League. Pictures brought to you live by ASL Live. Experience the live moments. Sponsors for this tournament: Bluebell Shipping, Servowell. Associate sponsors: PFF Valve Fittings, Asco Filtry and Caltros. As Prabhat plays this towards third man for another single. 6 teams playing this inaugural season will want to get their hands on the trophy. And in all honest, it is, as of now, it is Cummins Arabia and Petro Facor on top 2. This one down leg side, being called a wide. Way down leg side, nowhere close to the pads as what the fielder at square leg is suggesting. Score moves on to 17. Run rate now creeping up to 9.80. Plays it towards covers for another single. 18 for the loss of 2 wickets. As coming towards the close of the 4th over, the power play, not much of utilization there. There are only 2 men outside the circle. No risk whatsoever being taken by DNO Dynamos. Somebody needs to get on with the innings if they want to, as Prabhat plays this one towards covers. The men inside the ring being kept busy. They're happy to give away the singles and not concede a boundary. So the end of 4 overs, 19 for the loss of 2 wickets. 7 runs coming off this over. So both, rather 6 runs coming off this over. 2 overs, 9 for the loss of no wicket is what Bruno is. Bowled as we have the first change. Jitendra Odhrani coming in as the first change bowler.
मुझे तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है पटेल भाई.
He's playing his first match of the season. As Jitendra Odhrani shot pulls it towards fine leg. Bruno coming towards the ball, but just keeping it down to 2 runs. Inviting the hook and Prabhat obliging, hitting it high onto the bat, going towards fine leg. Bruno coming towards the ball but unable to latch onto that, so 2 runs added to the total score, moves on to 21. Still no boundaries in the innings. Should be a cause of worry for DNO Dynamos, as this one slightly short again. In trying to bowl the test match lengths, just showing that trying to keep it away from the batsman, more of a tennis ball bounce as he bowls those ones. And Prabhat just happy to play it down to short, to his third man rather, for a single. He moves on to 9 of 9. Score moves on to 22 as the run rate creeps up to 9.89. It's only going to get difficult from here if they don't try to arrest the situation. Cramping Prashant for room, but he still manages to squeeze it out to short covers for a single. Score moves on to 23. Inviting the edge this time. Prabhat just following this one. Luckily for him, no edge there. So still a pretty tight over. 4 runs of the 4 balls that have been given. The run rate now, required run rate now going up to 10.04. As Jitu comes this time, squeeze, plays it towards point again for another single. Score moves on to 24 of 4.5 overs. Comparatively, in 5 overs, SuperTech had scored 46, so they are quite behind them in the terms of, as Prashant again plays this towards gully, a single being scored. So 25 for 2 at the end of 5 overs. A run, a ball over comes to an end. 6 runs of that over. Prabhat batting 10 of 11. Prashant batting 8 of 11. No boundaries in the innings so far. It's the last over of power play to be bowled. Simlai coming into bowl. Prashant again playing it down to the man at gully point and third man being kept quite busy by both these batsmen. There's no shortage of those singles, but it'll be the boundaries that'll be a bit of worry for DNO Dynamos, who haven't scored one so far in the 5.1 overs that have been bowled, as Prashant trying to play this outside the off stump, wanting to call it a wide, but the umpire calls it a no ball, overstepping. So a free hit coming up. This is what might infuse some kind of momentum into the as Prabhat plays over this, but since it's a no ball, he can't be bowled. So more agony for DNO Dynamos, even the free hit not being utilized. Plays it again down to gully, single being taken. Score moves on to 28. It's the 4th ball of the 6th over. Plays it back towards the bowler. So again, no chances being taken whatsoever. The risk being totally nullified as Prashant plays it again to gully for a single. Score moves on to 29. The need of the hour is for somebody to come and throw caution to the wind if DNO Dynamos have to get anywhere close to this score. Prabhat plays it back to the bowler. 5.5 overs, or rather 6 overs completed, 29 for the loss of 2 wickets. Partnership 20 of 23 can be said. It's a decent partnership, but when you're chasing 177, you need somebody to start taking the initiative. Can't leave it for the last few overs of the innings to score more than 15, 16. You need to start building those runs from the word go. But so far, there's absolutely no intention whatsoever. And SuperTech is quite happy to bowl and give away those singles every ball. As Jitendra Odhrani comes into bowl, Prashant wants to cut this one, too close to the body. No run there. One bounce into the keeper's gloves. This time short, plays it towards short square, a quick single being taken. As Jitendra bowling to Prabhat. This time down leg side, being called a wide. Wouldn't cause much of a concern for SuperTech. They will just want to bowl it within the stumps. .31 for 2 in 6.2 overs. And keeping him on his toes, plays it down towards mid-off, no run there. So medium pacers so far doing a good job. Keeper comes up to the stump now. On the pads, and he's been given an LBW, and that sees the end of Prabhat Saxena. Not happy, he thinks it was going down leg, but the umpire thinks it's going to hit onto the stump. So that's another dismissal for DNO Dynamos. .31 for the loss of 3 wickets. So Jitendra Odhrani amongst the wickets. Prabhat Saxena, LBW. To the bowling of Jitendra Odhrani. He is out for 11 of 17 balls. अंपायर देगा ना यार, मैं थोड़ी दे सकता हूँ. अंपायर देगा, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ. Daryl Pinto comes into the center. Left-hander on strike. Daryl Pinto Comes a left-hander comes to strike. Jitendra Udrani to Daryl, playing it into the ground, no run there. 31 for 3, 6.5 overs completed. SuperTech running through these overs quick and fast. No boundary the innings so far, which is a cause of concern for DNO Dynamos, and 3 wickets being lost in the bargain. The best man, Prabhat Saxena, out LBW as Jitendra comes in to bowl the last ball of the over. This one onto square leg for a single. So the end of 7 overs, 32 for the loss of 3 wickets. Daryl Pinto batting 1 of 2. Prashant batting 11 of 16. सैंडविच बोला मैं गया ही नहीं लेने के लिए. हाँ Semlai comes into ball the 8th over, bowling to the left-hander. Semlai inducing the batsman to play towards covers. Daryl plays it towards covers this time, no run there. So first ball being called a wide and then a dot ball, so 33 for 3 in 7.1 overs. The game losing its momentum and all, as this one's down leg side and the umpire says this is going down leg, so Daryl survives this one. So leg by being called. Score moves on to 34. As Prashant plays it towards covers and another single being taken. Score moves on to 35. For the loss of 3 wickets. As Daryl plays this in the air, and the first boundary of the innings. Waiting for the umpire signal whether it's a boundary or a 6. 4 runs, the first boundary of the innings. Many more are required for the DNO Dynamos. They want to chase down the score. So moves on to 39. In the air, over mid-wicket, and another boundary. Just inside, the ball stops in, so 2 runs, and coming back for the 3rd. So some sort of intent being shown by Daryl isn't going to hold back, and he's going to score those runs. Score moves on to 42. Prashant trying to chase this one, being called a wide, so score moves on to 43. $11 runs of this over so far. Need every over, they need to go at 11 and above, as another single being taken there. 12 runs of the over. 8 overs completed, 44 for the loss of 3 wickets. So you see birds flying on the banks, looking for their last meal of the day before the sun sets in, as Ansar comes into bowl for the first time, setting up his field, swapping the men between short fine and short mid wicket. Prashant taking strike. Prashant plays it towards covers for another single, brings the left-hander on strike. Score moves on to 44. Ansar now coming round the wicket to the left-hander. Men out on the boundary on the onside. Siban, deep square leg, deep mid wicket, and the man at long on. Ansar drops this slightly short, and Darrell Pinto not able to capitalize on that. Initially moved forward but came back. Didn't give him enough time to play the stroke. The score remains on 45. Comes down the wicket, edge, plays towards gully, and a misfield there. Single being conceded. Score moves on to 46. Sweeps this one towards backward or square for his first boundary. So the 50 coming up in 8.4 overs, as relatively SuperTech had scored in 5.3 overs, so 3.1 over difference between those 50 being scored, but it'll be the end at which there as another sweep comes out, this time again towards the backward square leg, the fielder giving the chase, and the ball reaches the boundary. So 2 boundaries back to back. Score moves on to 54. Ansar guilty of bowling 2 full out there. 8.5 overs, 54 for the loss of 3 wickets. Ansar into bowl to Prashant. This time outside the off stump. End of another good over for DNO Dynamos. 54 for the loss of 3 wickets in 9 overs. Current partnership of 23 of 14. Prashant batting 22 of 22. Darrell batting 9 of 8. Prashant 2 boundaries and Darrell scoring the single boundary. So 3 boundaries in the innings so far in the 9 overs. Current run rate of 6.00 and required run rate 11.18. 123 runs required in the remaining 66 balls. As you see the birds on the banks flying down as a new bowler Anis comes in and bowls a wide, so score moves on to 55. Picture screens out here at the Royal Sports Club grounds on the Dubai Al Ain Road. There's 2 grounds here which are floodlit and cricket can be played 24/7 given the conditions. There's another run being scored. Score moves on to 56. Darrell moves on to 10 of 9. Prashant facing Anis. Ospin takes off for another single. 1 run added to the total. Score moves on to 57. Stops and bowls flighted delivery. So single again. Daryl Pinto sends us towards long off for a single. Score moves on to 58. Prashant plays it towards gully and another quick single. Score moves on to 59. Sunny's right arm Ospin not giving much pace. He's just looping the delivery, inviting the batsman to take the charge. And last. Seen for another LBW, and he's been given across the line to an off-spinner. So another wicket, 59 for 4 at the end of 10 overs. So more problems for the DNO Dynamos. Daryl Pinto out for 11 of 12 with 1 boundary. Needing another 118 of the remaining 60 balls as we have a look at the scorecard. Suresh out 3 of 6 balls. Parag Sharma out 1 of 2. Prashant batting at 24 of 24. Prabhat Saxena out for 11 of 17. Daryl Pinto, the last man, out 11 of 12 balls with 1 boundary. Fall of wickets on 3, 9, 31 and 59.
कीपर के साथ में बच्चा है उसको लो उसको बच्चे को लेके आओ बच्चे को लेके आओ हेलो अगर इनसाइड हो गई तो था तो चढ़ के गया इसलिए 3 लाख इसी की बात कर रहा हूँ ये वाला तो ये वाला तो सारी है कुछ एंगल प्रॉब्लम वाला चिल्ला चिल्ला इसलिए उसका 3 लाख इसका तो नहीं पता वो ऊपर चला गया था लेकिन वो तो कंफर्म है नहीं यहाँ क्या था वो अंदर जाके यहाँ बैड लगा तो अलग बात है लेकिन वो एक स्टेप ऊपर गया था वैसे अभी यहाँ से अपने को ऐसा लग रहा है कि लग इसकी हाइट के नीचे ही
अगली बार दूसरा कैमरा लगा टेस्ट मैच वो नहीं आया
ये रिकॉर्डिंग मिलेगा क्या?
ऑनलाइन 4 सेकंड का होगा तो कोई मिस हो जाता लेकिन अगर ये हाई फॉर्मेट होता है तो
सीधा हमारा और पटक से आ गया तो
वो पॉसिबिलिटी है कि 2-3 सेकंड में रिफ्लेक्शन नहीं आता लेकिन दूर का तो आएगा ही पूरा यहाँ पकड़ा क्योंकि अपना एक भी मैच में कभी बंद नहीं हुआ वो दूसरी जगह पर कभी कभी बंद हो जाता है तो गैप हो जाता है वापस कनेक्ट करने में यहाँ बंद नहीं हुआ क्योंकि लाइट का आप लोग का फैसिलिटी अच्छा है
Chandan Kumar Singh comes in as a new man. As we change sides, bowling now being bowled from the commentary end.
लेकिन उन दोनों बॉलिंग बहुत सॉलिड बॉलिंग बहुत सॉलिड
59 for 4.
बनाएगा ना पकड़ लेगा 2 स्विंग है 3 स्पिनर है
This time Prashant comes down the wicket. End of his patient vigil out there. So 2 wickets in 2 successive balls across the drinks break. Daryl Pinto was out LBW at the last ball of the 10th over and the 11th over first ball. Prashant dancing down the wicket and Ansar enticing him to go down the wicket and the keeper doing the rest. Stumped by JC off the bowling of Ansar. He's out for 24 of 25. So the 5th wicket down for DNO Dynamos. Zain, the new man, taking strike. As Ansar bowls to Zain, plays it down towards deep mid wicket for a single.
तेरा बैट का वो अच्छा है, उसका साउंड से पता चलता था विलो अच्छा है बैट का, वो लड़की अच्छा खेला है, वो सारे तरफ सब तरफ खेलता है, वो कैलकुलेटिव।
Ansar Chandan plays this towards long on. Bruno the fielder misfields and another boundary.
ने बोला ना कैच पकड़ा वो नहीं लिया, ये तो तेरा आ गया, इससे मतलब
Yes, a rare misfield costs the boundary. So Chandan off the mark with the boundary. Plays it down the ground towards long off. Ball towards long off for a single. Score moves on to 64. Zain now swiping this one towards deep square leg. Anis the fielder, 1 run, wanting the second. Is there a chance of a run out? And possibly yes. Miscommunication between the batsmen. The ball sent in from deep square leg towards the bowler. Bowler Ansar being vigilant enough, collects the ball, throws it to the keeper, and Zain is run out for 2 of 2. So 65 for the loss of 6 wickets.
ये भी उससे करीब से लिया ना। तेरा वो जो जिसको फ्री में खिलाया उन लोग के भी यही सेम नखरे थे, एक एक बंदा रोफ तक पहुंचता था, दूसरा बंदा जाता था, मैं बोला यार फ्री में खेल रहे फिर भी इतने नाटक उन लोग को बोल, इंडियन वाले तो पूरे प्रॉपर कर रहे थे, इन लोग इतना डिले किए मैच को। 9:30 तो उनका मैच नहीं आएगा। अभी आपका आ गया, आपको कंप्लेंट आना अभी आया, इतना खतरनाक कैच वो नहीं आया। रनर
Santosh, the new batsman, is on strike. Ansar. हुआ कैसे?
6:30 से पहले हो जाएगा, मुझे ऐसे चांसेस है। ये लोग थोड़ा क्विक है, फील्डिंग वाले क्विक है, बैटिंग वाले आराम से आ रहे हैं।
एक मिनट इसका ये अंपायर के नीचे क्या है उधर फ्लोर पे?
And he's coming to bowl his second over. He's given away 5 runs of the over that he bowled. Ansar has given away 17 runs as bowls a wide, rather a no ball and a free hit. So Chandan,
नो बॉल कैच दिख गया, स्टेप वहाँ तो नहीं।
as Ansar, Anish bowling to Chandan down the leg side onto the pad and a leg bite towards short fine. So the no ball not being capitalized on. That's been the story of the tournament so far. Hardly any no balls have been capitalized on. As batsman slowing this one. Beautiful ball. Slows his run up at the point of delivery and loops this one. Santosh missing this one. So no run. Again another wide. Sensible bowling. Just needs to keep it within the lines. He's inviting the batsman to play, will bring the point into play. Anshul's got to be ready for one. Could be coming down his throat as this one was played towards long off. Jitu Odhrani ambling down and making sure he keeps the score down to a single. Score moves on to 69. Another 107 required of 51 balls. Required run rate now creeping up to 12.59 as Chandan dances down the wicket, plays it over mid-on towards the man at long on rather. Bruno does the fielding, keeps it down to a single, 70 for the loss of 6 wickets. Full toss towards long on, one bounce, boundary. Score moves on to 75. .75 for the loss of 6 wickets. Santosh on strike. Under edges the ball to the keeper. Just angry with himself for not making use of that one. So at the end of 12 overs, 75 for the loss of 6 wickets. Needing another 102 of the remaining 48 balls as Ansar comes into bowl his third over. He's expensive, 2 overs 17 for 1. Anish has given away 2 overs 13 runs. Chandan plays it over covers. A man at long off. Jitu Odhrani going down to 20 meters to his left and keeps it down to a double. Score moves on to 77. They need more than 2 runs a ball. They need a lot more shots of this and beyond them to try to come down to the score as Chandan this time plays it towards deep mid wicket. Simlai, the fielder there, keeps it down to a single. Score moves on to 78. Nearly chopped onto his stumps. Under edges his ball. Ansar this time slowing the pace, giving it a bit of air. Chandan plays this over covers. The man at extra cover coming round to his right. But keeps it down to 2. Score moves on to 80 as the 5th ball of the 13th over plays it down to long off for a single. Score moves on to 81. Score of 12.5 overs. Last ball of the over. Ansar desperately looking for his second wicket of the evening so far. Just managed to get one. This last ball comes on the wicket, plays it towards deep mid wicket, single there. Score moves on to 82 at the end of 13 overs. Another 96 runs, 95 runs required of 42 balls. Required run rate of 13.57. These pictures brought to you live by ASL Live. Experience the live moments. This tournament being sponsored by Bluebell Shipping, Servo Well, PFF Valve Fittings, Asco Filtry, Carl Tross. You're at the Eagle Sports Club ground. Okay, as we come to the end of 13 overs.
ठीक है ना, वो 2 सेकंड में कभी कभी हो जाता है, वो फॉरन डिसीजन। आई नो दैट ये लेवल पे पार्टिसिपेट किया इस टूर्नामेंट में कि प्लेइंग फॉर उसको बैटिंग चाहिए थी, मैं टॉस जीत के उसको बैटिंग दिया, ठीक है। तो एक्चुअली मुझे विनर से प्रॉब्लम, मुझे और किसी से प्रॉब्लम नहीं। हरीश भाई के साथ क्या, हरीश भाई सेंसिबल आदमी, आप विनर के साथ क्रिकेट डेली खेलते हो, आपको पता वो कैसा बंदा है। ही डजंट अंडरस्टैंड यार। नहीं अभी प्रभात का डिसीजन से कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, मुझे डीलिंग में कोई वो प्रॉब्लम मेरे को
Shobra is the new bowler. Chandan plays it down to long on for another single. As Shubraj comes into bowl to Santosh, plays it towards the square leg area. The man from deep square leg, Israni, coming in and fielding, keeps it down to a single. Plays it back towards the bowler. No run there. Good over so far, giving 2 runs of the 3. So we have a look at the boundary count of this inning so far. 5 boundaries scored so far in 13.3 overs. It's chasing a score of 177. You need to come up with some big boundaries, as another wide being called and an extra run being given. Score moves on to 86. 14 extras in the innings so far, 10 wides, 2 no balls, 2 leg byes. Yes, Shobraj into bowl to Santosh. Is that an edge? No edge whatsoever, so score remains on 86. As the 5th ball of the this time he swing and a miss, so Santosh is out on 9 of 11 balls and loss of the 7th wicket in the 14th over. 86 for 7.
कैमरा ये सब नहीं कैप्चर कर रहा है ना एकदम से देखकर नहीं बॉलिंग बनी यार थोड़ा वो इमीडिएटली मुझे पूछा वो जिस दिन पब्लिश हुआ ना कहता यार ये क्या था ऐसा थोड़ी होता है मेरा मैनेजमेंट भी वीडियो देखता है ये सब क्या सवाल पूछ रहा है कि ये ऐसा थोड़ी सही है मैंने भाई हम तो मजाक खेलने के लिए आए
मजा नहीं लेना भाई, आज भी किया था मैंने, बोला नहीं अभी तक। आज भी उसने किया था सुबह पहले पहले ओवर में।
यही बन जा।
हाँ
अरे वाह अच्छा बंदा है
वो हो यार
अब आएगा अरे उसने टीम खड़ी कर कैसे आई है हमारी क्लाइंट DNO इज लाइक एंड यूजर लो फाइल एंड नाउ जैसा एंड यूजर और बंदे ने
उसका
खड़ा
कोई
किया
ना कहीं ये लेवल पे एकदम नहीं भी देगा तो नहीं दोस्त है।
और उस पे खंडे पे पूरा टीम चलता ना तो वो पूछने वाला क्या आप विनय को जानते हो उसको क्यों अंपायरिंग करा रहे हो उससे
Last ball of the over. Vinod Jacob, the new batsman, end of the 14th over, 86 for 7.
जब आप कर रहे हो ना, you see this is either you spontaneous give or you don't give.
हाँ डोंट गिव।
You know what he does? That creates doubt. Eye contact is very important and you have to be firm with your decision. तुम्हारी उंगली यहाँ जा रही हैं, आंखें नीचे जा रही हैं, पैर कहीं और जा रहा है. That was totally disconnected.
Chandan plays this in the night sky. Bruno coming under that and takes a well judged catch. Has the cameraman captured that? Yes, it is.
Again miss।
As Bruno manages to hold on to this one. Chandan trying to go over the top. Ansar gets his second wicket of the evening, following the 44 that he scored of 22 balls.
नहीं वो सूरज आ गया था।
अब स्टेटस में डालेगा
Bruno.
अब इन लोगों ने आज मैं लिंक नहीं दूंगा प्राइवेट पर वहाँ बोलना मेरे को आ गए तो तू पोस्ट करना ये अभी
नहीं
ऐसे
दिन दो मत
नहीं दो
करने नहीं मुझको कल देख ले
पंखा अपना चल रहा है.
साइड में
At least some that, if you come and talk about all this, you need to understand that your guys also should be on the right side, no? Not on the wrong side. No doubt they're number 10 and 11 and they don't have much experience, but at least getting ready is something that they can't be taught, no?
Kinjal, the new batsman, coming at number 10.
तुमको तो ये फील्ड में तो एवरीडे आना ही पड़ेगा जब भी मैच रहेगा एटलीस्ट स्टार्ट करके जाओ अलग बात है, क्योंकि
कमेंट सब अरेबिया का मैच कल
होता है ना तो ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम होती है आदमी को। मैं भी अगर नहीं, लेकिन स्टार्ट करने तक ना प्रेजेंट रहना बहुत ज़रूरी है। वो तो नॉर्मल। लाइट बढ़ाओ फात, थोड़ा
यस
थोड़ा बढ़ाओ, सबर।
Ansar bowling to Hitesh, the left-hander.
ठीक है।
Three men outside on the leg side. Man at square leg, deep mid wicket, and the man at long on as asking for a stumping, not given. 14.2 overs. DNO Dynamos at the risk of not completing their
बोलता हूँ नो,
ball this time.
पहले अभी वो बाहर रखने की जरूरत ही नहीं, राइट ही आएगा।
So ninth wicket down, and Ansar gets his third wicket. 86 for 9 as the last man coming in.
वो जीवन है ना। हाँ
As we see Semlai at the square leg boundary relaxing, knowing very well this game is in their wraps. They just need to hammer the last nail in the coffin.
डेजर्ट पे कार वेव नहीं चल रही है, कार नहीं है क्या डेजर्ट का? चलो ठीक है। छोड़ दो, अभी लास्ट विकेट है, मना कर रहे हैं, बर्दाश्त कर लो, मुश्किल नहीं, लास्ट है। पहले ही उसका कैप्टन बहुत देर से अंदर कुड़वा हुआ है, छोड़ दो। क्या विला है? हाँ विला है क्या है? अंदर देखो कोई लोकल वोकल है कि नहीं। हाँ ला लो, हो गया। छोड़ दो मत लो। गर्मी है ना, ले लो बैट्समैन को, ले लो टकले पे, टकले को ले लो, बैट्समैन को ले लो भाई। ओवर छोड़ो, विकेट लास्ट है बस।
5.3 overs बाकी है।
इस मैच के बाद में बैटरी चेंज करनी है। क्या नहीं चेंज किया बैटरी ना? हाँ लाजिम चेंज करना, ब्रेक तो है वो, इन लोग आधा घंटा जल्दी आउट हो गए ना, तो आधे घंटे का ब्रेक है, बंद कर देना पूरा। अगली टीम में आ गई है कि नहीं? नहीं
Yusuf, the new batsman, the last batsman for DNO Dynamos,
Coming to the center, Ansar will be looking for his 4th wicket of the evening. He's already got 3. He's got 3 balls in which he can take his 4th wicket and wrap up this game as early as possible as the sun's setting down behind us. Plays it down towards the bowler, fielded by Ansar of his own bowling. 14.4 overs completed, 86 for 9. They need another 91 runs of 32 balls. That's not going as this one also cannons onto the stump. So 86 all out in 14.4 overs. Yes. Yes, 86 all out in 14.5 overs. SuperTech winning by a whooping 90 runs. Yes, SuperTech completing their 4th game with win, coming up to 3rd position. We have the presentations coming up in the next few minutes as our MVP for the game is Ansar Abbasi for his 44 runs and 22 wickets. Anshul, Ansar, Anshul and Ansar. सेंटर में वहाँ पे नहीं चाहिए तो बोल आजा आजा bring your guys, no? Bring your guys closer. तेरे पीछे हम लोग मैं ले चुका हूँ भाई इसीलिए तो आप लोग का सेकंड मैच रखा है अब नहीं खेलेंगे सेकंड अब नहीं खेलेंगे आज इतनी गर्मी थी ना अच्छा हमारी बैटिंग थी तभी लग जाती थी इन्होंने कर लेते हैं ये मैच बहुत जल्दी खत्म हो जाता है मैंने अंशुल को बोला post match you have to give, yeah. Height like one pass call. मुझे पिछली बार ये लगा ये जगह लेकिन मैंने लगा कि शायद मुझे लगा आउट है मैंने रिप्ले देखा ना क्योंकि आप क्या किए मैंने यू किया ना नहीं नॉट ओनली दैट आपने जब अपने स्टांस अगर आप ये करोगे आपने जो स्टांस दिया ना मैं देखा कि आप ऑफ पे आ गए थे like you are literally आप लेग पकड़ रहे हैं ऐसे किए see when you go like this तेरे पैर
your legs going.
Actually मैं क्या it was like that कि fight के लिए छोड़ रहा था
Yeah, madam, yes. Camera उधर है.
अपनी बात कर रहा हूँ मैं मेरे साथ हो चुका है
Welcome to the post-match presentation. SuperTech winning this game by 90 runs against the DNO Dynamos. The man of the match, Ansar. The trophy given and the check being given by Chaitali from DNO Dynamos to the man of the match, Ansar, for his 44 of 22 and 4 wickets in the game. Thank you, Chaitali, for doing the honors. And Ansar, 1 wicket in the first 2 overs and then 3 quick wickets. What was the plan when you were bowling that 4th over of your power play?
Not specifically, I was just giving it a flight. I just wanted the batsmen to go for their shots, and luckily it paid off. One especially on the boundary, it was a very good catch. And last 2 wickets, I just bowled wicket to wicket, and luckily it came off.
And talking with the start of the game when the conditions were humid, what was your chat? You lost your partner right in the first over. Anshul came in. What was the talk between you and Anshul as soon as you saw that the humid conditions were going to get more difficult for you to bat on?
Actually, it was very tough to bat on, especially early on due to the heat. And the talk between Anshul and me was that he's going to stay on the wicket. I'm going to go for the shots, especially in the first 6 overs. And again, it was a good day for me that luckily it came off.
Anyway, thank you and congratulations for this win and the man of the match. As we talk to Prabhat Saxena from DNO Dynamos, followed by Anshul, who will be talking to us. Prabhat, again, last week I had a good game. You all won that game. This time, totally outplayed by a side who's far more superior in terms of personnel out here.
First of all, I wouldn't agree about far more superior word, right? So, but we all are coming here to have fun, and we had fun today. Little disappointed with the way the game went on. We could have played better, but SuperTech, of course, was today a superior team than us. And wish them good luck for the next games here.
Anyway, as you'd spoken at the toss, you said that you are going to give more and more chances to all the boys. They have to come into play and have some fun, get some experience on the park. Probably, is that going to be the mantra for the next game? And then probably the next season come back with some more different strategies?
I'm not sure about next season, but this season the idea was to set up a team inside the company, and I think we need to take all the pain and to bring us on the ground. And I really congratulate all the organizer because of them we are here. And I apologize for some of the harsh words that I said. And to be honest, our team is having fun. Their families are having fun. And even entire company, we are Norway-based company. Even our CEO called me other day and asked me, the well done guys, at least you did something for the company, and this gives us another feeling, right, that okay, the employees are so connected with the name DNO that we are playing for it, right? So thank you so much. Yeah.
Eddie, thank you for that. All the best for your last league game and the knockout game to follow after that. As we speak to Anshul, everything went on to plan. You got to bat as you had spoken to Prabhat at the start of the game, and you probably all bases covered before you go into your final game and the knockout.
Yes, I think we were in control through and through with the bat as well as the ball. We wanted to set a target of 150, and boys actually overachieved, making it 176. And with the bowling lineup we know we can contain them within 80 runs. So that's what has happened actually on this one.
Talking about the top order has already clicked. You are hoping that your bottom half starts coming, and in spite of not many boundaries being scored, the run rate was kept afloat. Is that a positive sign, and is that what y'all will be talking, or y'all will be thinking to go even more harder in the next game?
We want to go even more harder because this time we experimented with our orders. And I came down on the first down, then we brought Bruno next. We wanted to bring some aggressive players in the first 10 overs, so that in the later half we don't want to struggle to reach the target which we want at 150, 160. So that was the plan, actually pretty well worked actually.
Anyway, thank you for your time. Congratulations for today. That concludes our presentation ceremony. DNO Dynamos handed a 90-run defeat, keeps them on 5th position, and now SuperTech coming up to 3rd position on the table as we have our 12th game of the game coming tomorrow between Cummins Arabia and JSS Fittings. That concludes presentation. Thank you and goodbye.